Hey, what's up, gang? Johnny up here. Today we're talking about the top steel guitar brands for new steel guitar players. So this video is for y'all that are in that 0 to 3 years of playing range, and you're looking for a new guitar or one to start off on. This will be a good resource for you in your hunt for a first or second steel guitar. This isn't for you older players. When I start talking about push-pulls, I don't want you to be at me with like, oh, have you ever played a 68 fatback through a Fender Twin? I'm not talking to you guys, all right? This is for the new folks. So we're going to talk about, we got a bunch of popular brands down here, and not just brands, like certain models too. And these are kind of going to be the ones that you're going to see on, whatever, Craigslist or eBay. But let's dive in. So we got our little tier here, right? So we got S. S stands for shit yeah. And then A is like, all right. B, C, D is for like, dang it, that's a shitty guitar. All right, let's dive in. So our first guitar, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where's my preview? There we go. All right, so we're at Fessenden. So what do we know about Fessenden? I've had a couple Fessendens. I've had two. My second guitar was actually a Fessenden, and then like my fifth guitar, I tried another one out. It actually looked a lot like that. An all-pull model, they're pretty cheap. Negatives, you pretty much can't find parts for it anymore unless you know a guy that knows a guy. So as far as modifying it, gonna be tough. But if it's in good condition, like I said, they are pretty cheap. The ones I had definitely held together well. They were built well. On the tone scale, they're not like monsters, but they're gonna sound good. You're gonna say it sounds like a pedal steel, right? So with that being said, oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Boom. I think we're gonna put the Fessenden in the A category, right? Because it's just an all-around good guitar. And like I said, you're probably going to find it pretty cheap. You just want to make sure it's not too run down. They're not, they're not the highest end guitars to start off with, which is why they're going to be cheaper still now. But overall, definitely a good guitar to look for, as long as you check the underneath, it's clean and all that good stuff. All right, let's see what we got second. Oh, God, why does it keep doing this to me? Here we go. All right. Okay, well, I I had almost that exact guitar, and I did have this exact guitar. That might even be the guitar I had. That's crazy. But look at this, isn't that? Look at you steel guitar players love taking your guitars outside and taking a picture of them in the grass. You know that? I'm talking to you. You've done it. You know you did. And don't think I didn't notice. It does look cool outside. This guy was like, I'm taking it outside, but we're doing concrete. It's a concrete jungle out here, right? We ain't put grass. That's too pretty. We putting it on concrete. All right. So we got the MCI. Like I said, I actually had like almost this exact guitar. Again, it's an all-pull guitar. I think they were built mostly in the 90s. They're very similar to Carter's, and the one I had was actually kind of a Frankenstein one. It had some Carter bell cranks and some bell cranks that looked more like Fessenden's. So some were like rack and barrel and others weren't. It was pretty weird. But overall, a very nice guitar. I actually liked the tone of my MCI more than the Fessenden. Especially those, it had the Bill Lawrence 705s, just sounded killer. Again, very well built guitar. Bud Carter and Emmons had some to do with it. These are also pretty reasonable as far as price. I mean, this was a decade ago when I got mine. It was somewhere around like $2,500 for the double neck. I'm not sure what a single neck would go for, but if you find one in good condition, these are definitely excellent guitars for a first or second guitar. built well, and sound great. So God, why do I keep doing that? Technology. All right, so we're gonna go back to our tier. All right, there's the MCI. Man, you know what? I'm going S. I'm going S. Shit, yeah. I would love to have that for like my first or second guitar. That's an excellent guitar. Okay, let's check out the next one. Boom, preview, and it's doing that to me again. I don't know. Okay. All right, we got a Reigns. So this is a Texas brand. I'm pretty sure it doesn't build anymore. Gary Carpenter. But if you can find one, man, they sound great. They play great. Roger Ray, one of my favorite steel players coming up, played one. I know like John Neff played one for a bit, and I just loved the way they sounded. So like I said, you're probably not going to see a bunch of them, but they were built very well, and again, they're kind of a cheaper guitar. You know, the ones that are rare, that have like a different fretboard. God, I keep doing that. Might be a little bit more expensive, but you know, just like something I forgot to mention with the Fessenden and the MCI is they're going to come with a pro setup, right? At least 3 pedals, right? It's going to have 4, maybe 5 knee levers. Man, I might have owned that exact guitar too. I don't know. That's weird. This one, you know, was that 8 pedals, 4 knee levers. Same with this. It's going to have a pro setup. And for that reason, I am going, man, if you can afford it, shit, yeah. That's a sweet guitar. Okay, let's go back to our preview. Next one, Encore, the Encore. I had one of these Encores and played it for a long time. It's actually what I played on that Cody Jinks record. And it sounded, you know, the studio helped, but it sounded great on that album. Great thing about the Encore is that you can get like a pro setup with it. It's definitely like cheaper materials, right? But you're gonna have the steel legs, and as opposed to like the Stage 1 or certain other student models that won't have a pro setup, or if it does have 3 and 4, you won't be able to change the copedent. So for that reason, the Encore stands, you know, ahead above the other student models. And I really hesitate even calling it a student model because it sounds great. They are built well, and you can also get them serviced. Oh gosh, is he another Gary too? I feel like the builder was another Gary. I'm blanking on his name right now. But you can get a hold of him and get parts if you need to, which, like we talked about with the Fessenden, that ain't happening. The MCI, you can find MCI parts and probably some Carter parts that would fit. There's definitely stuff like that you can find. I imagine Reigns isn't way out there with what's going on underneath. I've actually never seen the underneath of one. But the Encore you can get parts for, and it's cheap. I think you can get a new one for still under 2K, which is, I don't know why I keep doing that. Which is, that's probably it. That's the only one you can do that with. So, man, we are throwing that in the S. Shit, yeah. That would be a great second guitar. It's going to stay in tune. It's going to last you a long time. Even a used one, it's been taken care of, is going to last you a really long time. And they sound great. Okay, we're going to keep going. I promise they all aren't going to be shit, yeah. We're going to get there. All right, what we got next? Okay, so this might be kind of hard to see. Let's see if we can blow it up. Boom, boom. Okay, so that's the MSA. These aren't the new MSAs though. This is the XL with the super sustain. Now this is a single body, so it's probably not too heavy, but I have worked on one of these double necks, and I gotta tell you, that thing had to have been 70 pounds. I mean, it was shocking how heavy this thing was. Yeah, I did a setup and kind of added some parts to one for a friend. Gosh, probably about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. And luckily I was able to find parts for it from whatever it was, from Michael Yall's shop, although I think he's closed down. So finding parts for them might not be too easy anymore. They are a good guitar, but like I said, they are super heavy. Parts might be harder to come by at this point, and they're also kind of old. Like I'm not sure how long these MSAs were built. I think from the 70s on, really. Could be wrong there. So I'm not. It was kind of tough to work on, as I recall. Compared to like the Fessenden or a Carter or an MCI. So for that reason, gosh, I keep doing that. I keep doing it. That reason, we're gonna go B. You can probably find one for a decent price. I just don't think I would go with the old MSA over these other ones, just because of the weight and all that. All right, moving on. Boop. Okay, here we got a little GFI Expo. So this is GFI's, yeah, that's the student model. So it's definitely a little bit cheaper made than the Ultra. Between you and me, it's not much to look at. I think they're about as ugly as they come. No offense to you that are playing them. So definitely minus points for style. Like if you go back to the Encore, like the Encore's, you know, kind of same quality of materials, but at least you got that the mica that's got like the brown wood grain. Like even though it's mica, it looks like a wood guitar, you know. Whereas this, the black mica with like the, I don't know, it just doesn't grab me. So I give it minus points for that. I actually looked at the price on them before starting this video, and they're like 3,000 plus for a new one, which kind of blows my mind. I would think something like this would be quite a bit cheaper. I have heard a bunch of them played, and they sound good. You're gonna sound like a steel player, so nothing wrong there. But if I do that one more time, we're just gonna end the video right there. But I feel like they shouldn't be that freaking expensive. So I'm gonna put it A. It is a good starter guitar. You can probably find them a lot cheaper used. But even used, they're probably going to be, I mean, the Encore is going to be cheaper, and it's probably going to be about the same price as the Reigns or the MCI. So, you know, I just don't think I can put it in the S tier because of that. All right, moving on. There we go. All right. Ooh, look at that. Oh, wait. Are you kidding me? We got grass and concrete this time. This dude was like, I can't decide between grass or concrete. So I'm going to take a picture with both. All right. Okay. Now we're just in a garage somewhere. Man, okay. So the new MSA, right? We got the new logo with the knight on there, the chest piece. So this is like top tier guitar, right? You're looking at 1 to 2 year wait for a new one. Every once in a while you see one that like just got built and the guy was like, oh man, now I've got to fucking get a new car. Oh god, I shouldn't say that. Or something, and they got to sell it right away, and you can get one that's like new. But you're looking at, right, $6,000 something for a guitar plus. you know, again, if you got it like that and you don't mind waiting, but I think you're just as good off getting something cheaper, right? And because something like this, you're not, as a new player, you're not going to want to work on it yourself, right? Because you could do so much damage underneath, and it's such a piece of art that a new player really shouldn't be messing around with it too much. Not that it can't be set back up properly. But I would just wait. I would wait until you know what kind of tone you're looking for, what kind of player you are, right? And not dive into like a, you know, 8,000 double neck guitar. If, you know, maybe a couple years in, you're like, oh, I want to play universal. And now you've got a guitar that's going to be kind of hard to sell because, like, I couldn't afford to buy that guitar from you. I'm sure there are some people out there that would. So as far as the guitar, A+, right? But as far as a guitar for a new player, I gotta throw it on man. I gotta put it on the B. It's just too nice, too expensive for a new player. Get something cheaper, something that you feel comfortable working on. Like if you wanted to add some levers to it or something, and you want to learn how to work on guitars yourself, get something like that. Okay, next. Ooh, all right, we got the Mullen Discovery, not to be confused with the Royal Precision or the Pre-Royal Precision or the G2. This is their student model. Very similar to like an Encore, right? It's got the steel legs, a pro setup, right? 3 pedals, 4 knees, triple raise and lower, I'm pretty sure. It might be double. And I'm guessing they can rod split tunes. I know the Encore, you can get split tuning by having split tuning rods. I actually don't know about the Discovery, but pretty similar, right? Brass rollers, probably a little bit cheaper on the tuners. But it's got the Bill Lawrence there. I'm pretty sure these are like $3,000 or something. Let's look it up. Boom. Mullen Discovery. Oh, we'll just go to Mullen Guitars. Boom. Guitar models. Discovery. Oh wait, we gotta go to guitar prices. We wanna be okay, so they're 2,600. So not much more. Let's check real quick the Encore. Zoom Encore. I'm not sure what the website is anymore. Stage 1 steel guitars. Okay. Encore is 22 now. So this price has gone up quite a bit since I had mine. But $400 cheaper than the Discovery. You can get the 4th pedal and left knee and all that. Vertical, I mean. So, it's definitely a good option for a new player. It is going to run you more than the Encore, and probably even the Fessenden and the MCI. Although it is great having a new guitar, right? You don't have to worry about. I know when I got my first Fessenden, I bought it off eBay, and I didn't really know. I was coming from the Fender student model that had 3 pedals and 1 knee lever. I mean, when I sold the Fender is when I realized there was a knee lever. I was always like, what is this thing that like keeps flapping down when I set the guitar up? And then the day I sold it, I was like, oh, that's a knee lever, cool. So, I don't know. What were we talking about? Oh, my Fessenden. When I didn't get any pictures of the undercarriage, and it was just so dirty, like someone had like dunked it in mud and then like wiped the outside part and put it in a case. It was crazy how dirty it was. So you don't have to worry about that with a new Discovery. And so for that reason, we are, where is it in here? Discovery. It's hiding from me, did it not? Did I not upload it? Oh, there it is. We're gonna put the Discovery, what do y'all think? S-cha-cha? We're going at, why is it $400 more? I don't know. We might change that later. It might move up. It's definitely not moving down, but it might move up. Let's keep on going. Okay. Ooh, Showbud. This is a Pro 2. Man, that's freaking beautiful. I would, just to start off, I would love to own this guitar. They sound great. I've never played a Pro 2, but I've heard and seen lots of players play them, and man, the tone is killer. It'd almost be like one of those that I would want to wait to get until I'm a better player. I'm not, I don't want to discourage you from getting the guitar you want. If you want to be a Showbud player and you know that starting off, then by all means. Oh God, I did it again. We got to end the video. They are going to be all pull guitars, right? So not too much trouble working on them on your own. So for that reason, I'm going to put it as an A. Like, the nicer ones are going to be more expensive, and you're definitely really going to have to watch out for ones that have been toured hard for decades, right? Because this one you can tell is in great condition, but if you don't know what you're looking for, but you do know you want a Showbud, if you ask a player you admire if he'll help you. I'm always open for someone to say like, hey man, can I send you some pictures of this guitar? I'm thinking about buying it. I'll look at them for you. It takes me 5 seconds. But if you got someone like that, always have someone with a lot of experience check out the guitar before you just snap it up. Because there are going to be a lot of Showbud Pro 2s, 3s, 1s that have just been, like I said, toured to death. So you just want to be careful. You will be able to find parts for it and stuff like that. Cool. Yeah. Who doesn't love a Showbud? Okay. All right, we got a Rittenberry. This is the Rittenberry Prestige. This is the new Rittenberry. So I'm actually, I don't know, about a month or two away from having a Prestige. They're designed by Derek and Wayne Dahl. My Flight Ready Rittenberry is definitely one of the nicest guitars I've ever played. I've actually never played a Prestige, but looking forward to it. And if I know the craftsmanship is going to be even better than the Flight Ready. Not that that's like, even the Flight Ready was like a top shelf guitar. It is going to be expensive, right? Let's check out what a Prestige runs right now, even just the single neck. Rittenberry steel guitars. Does he have prices on there? Models. Prestige SD10. Oh, yeah, yeah, baby. Okay, $39.50 for the Prestige. So this is a pro model guitar. It's going to be very expensive. I think a better option would be doing the Flight Ready like I have. That's actually my guitar right there. So, I'm a little biased. Flight Ready 4 and 5's $37.50, so it's a little bit cheaper. You could do like a simpler setup, 3 and 4 or something, and save you several $100s. So, because of the price, and it's a very nice guitar. I've kind of got to. I feel like I, have to set my bias aside and do the same as the, it's not as expensive as an MSA. So I'm going to put it right here. but just knowing that I would consider the Flight Ready in the S and the Prestige probably in the A. It's a very nice guitar that's going to last you a long time. You can still get parts for it, especially the newer ones are going to be in great condition. I even talked to Gary Rittenberry back, gosh, probably like 10 years ago about building me one. I didn't follow through just because I couldn't afford it. But I've always really liked the Rittenberry brand. Okay, moving on. Boop. All right. Okay, we got a Showbud LDG here. So another of the Showbud family. Probably have a lot of similar things to say as I did the Pro 2. It's a killer guitar. Obviously, Lloyd plays his own. It's going to be all pull. And you're looking at, and it's going to have Pro setup. You're looking at kind of the same issues as like a Pro 2, to where some of these are going to be really old, and you're going to have to be really careful about what's going on underneath, right? Or maybe was it in a closet for 20 years? Was it in a closet in New Mexico in the desert, or was it in a closet in Louisiana? When I got my MCI, I bought it off this woman in Louisiana. She was like a fiddle player that like tried to learn how to play steel, then she just gave up. So she gave me like this box of strings and stuff with it, and the strings were just like bricks, little circles of rust discs, essentially. And so I definitely had to do some cleaning with the guitar. Luckily, the guitar was in better shape. So with these, like I said, with these older guitars, you just want to be really careful that it's been taken care of, right? It should be green. It shouldn't be yellow. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure. Did they come in other colors? I think it came in another color or two. But essentially, this should be what it looks like, right? I think almost all of them have the curved key head. But yeah, I think this would be a good guitar. You're probably not going to have too much trouble finding parts for it. So I'm going to put it in A with the with the other Showbud. Just because it's going to be kind of old is really the only reason. But you're going to sound great playing it, and it's probably going to feel pretty good if it's been taken care of. All right, next one. Ooh, we got another Showbud. All right, the infamous, the notorious, the champion of the noob, the Showbud Maverick. Oh man. So what is there to say about the Maverick that hasn't already been said? It's a piece of shit, essentially. Like, here's the problem. There's so many new people wanting to get into steel guitar, and there's not a lot of options in that $0 to $1,500 range that people see this and go, oh, I'll pay $1,200 for that. And it's just, you see it happen over and over again, that it gets a little discouraging, because there's only so much you can do with this guitar, right? It's 3 pedals. It's got single raise and or maybe, yeah, I don't even know, maybe a knee lever. So this guitar's, you know, if you actually get the guitar and start practicing immediately, it's going to get you, I don't know, 6 months down the road, and then you're going to have to get a different guitar anyway. So if it's at all possible, I mean, if you see one for like, you know, $300-400 and you don't have a guitar yet, I guess go for it. But if you can wait 6 months and get $2,000, you're just going to be so much better off and so much happier and less frustration. And not only that, these guitars have all seen like 20, 30, 40 owners by now. So they're going to be in terrible shape. You know, if you want to work on it, it's going to be tough. There's not really much you can do to make it a better guitar. So, and like I said, there's so many new players inflating the price of it that you probably can't even find one that cheap. The ones you see, I saw one, you know, recently go for like $1,000, and it's insane. Sorry, Showbud, this is your first failure. I'm going D. If you can find any other guitar, almost any other guitar you can afford, do that. Stay away from the Maverick. Okay. Moving on. All right, Mullen G2. So this is Mullen's top tier guitar. I've heard a lot of guys play these, sound great. Mechanics are great. There's really, as far as a guitar, it's going to be an A+ guitar, top tier. So there's nothing I can really say negative about it in that area. It's going to run into the same issues as like, you know, the new MSAs, the Legends, or like the Prestige, and then it's just going to be expensive. And maybe you want to wait a few years down the road, like I said, and figure out what kind of tone you're going for first before diving into a G2. With that being said, if you got it like that, by all means, go for it. So, not really much to say there. It's a great guitar. It's just expensive. So it's going into A. All right. Boop. Okay, now we got the Justice. So this is a smaller brand. Let's check out how much they are real quick. Justice steel guitars. Let's see what we got here. Oh, is that the exact one we're looking at? Man, look at this. Look at all this grass, man. He knows what he's doing, putting them guitars on grass. Ron Anderson. So he took over recently the Justice brand, and they're still looking awesome. They're definitely, as far as looks, they're as pretty as you know, a lot of the other guitars that are out there. Let's see how much. Let's see what the Pro Lite is going for. 3,000. So here we're talking about a Pro, well-built guitar that you're going to be able to get parts for. If you need it worked on, you're going to be able to do that. It's more affordable, right? You're talking about the Discovery, the Discovery, right? The Mullen student model was like, what did we say, 25? 20, it was 26, $25.95, I believe. So for $400 more, you can get that. Man, and they sound great. I've got a student with one, and it sounds excellent. I imagine the Judge is going to be more expensive. Let's see. So the Judge, we're starting off at 37 now for the SD10. So they've got a nicer model too. But yeah, I think this is a great option for a new guitar and for a new player. And you can probably find them again. You can find them used. Whether, I think his name was Fred Justice. God, I feel bad. I should look that up. Fred Justice steel guitar. Yeah, Fred Justice. Yeah, whether it was made by Fred or by Ron, definitely going to be good guitars. So the Justice is going S. You're going on the S with the Justice because it's cheap, like we said. Gonna be able to look at all this grass, man. We got the Reigns in the grass, the Justice in the grass, Fessenden. Oh man, did I miss another? Oh, we forgot the Mullen. The Mullen's just on wood. He was like, I don't care about grass, I don't care about concrete. Give me some wood, baby. It actually does kind of set it off real nice. Okay, so we got, oh, it ain't concrete. Now we got like some gravel. Yeah. Okay, so here we got an older Emmons. This is a push-pull. They're definitely going to be expensive for one that's in good condition. And for a new player, I wouldn't recommend a push-pull, just because they're going to be a little bit daunting to work on if you need to fix something. You're also going to be tuning in a way that's different from most of the steel guitar teachers out there. Most of the steel teachers out there are on all pull guitars, right? Like I play Rittenberry, Travis Toy plays MSA, Paul Franklin plays a Franklin. Those are all pull guitars. There's one guy, I can't remember his name right now. He plays a Zoom that does online videos. So for that reason, I would always recommend to a new player, go with an all pull over a push pull guitar. And that's not saying anything negative about a push pull guitar. It's just going to be more difficult to start with. Oh God, I did it again. So for that reason, it's going to sound great, but I got to go with B. It's going to be expensive, and there's definitely going to be more of a learning curve with tuning and setting up. All right. There are also, be aware, there are Emmons student model push-pulls. So you'll want to avoid those kind of even more so than like the pro model push-pulls. Because it's going to be cheaper parts and it's a push-pull, right? So that would probably go somewhere in the C section for me, probably. All right. Oh, God. What we got next? Oh, okay, yeah, we have the gravel there. We got some more grass. This is the Jackson Maverick. So this is Jackson's student model. I've done some reading up on it. I've never heard one. I've never played one. So I can't speak much to that. I do know that it is a pro setup, right? You're going to get 3 pedals and 4 knee levers. And the problem with this one is that, like the Zoom Stage 1, is that the copedent is the copedent, and you're not going to be able to change it. We can go to the Jackson steel guitars. Oh. Jackson steel guitar. Let's see, products. Where is it? Did they get rid of it? No. They didn't get rid of it. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Ha. Okay, the Maverick. You're looking at $3,000 again. So about the same price as the Jackson. I'm sorry, the Justice. Build time 10 to 12 weeks. So you are going to get it quick. So that's nice. And as I recall, it says down here, so 10 strings, 3 and 4, Nashville tuning setup. I remember it said somewhere, here we go, 10, 3 and 4. Man, it said it somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's gone, but that's the copedent you're going to get, and I don't think you can make any changes to it. Like, that's what the Maverick HD is. If I'm wrong, all new design, black only. Yeah, I don't know. He definitely used to say that that's the setup. I don't know. Maybe they changed. and that's why it doesn't say that anymore. So maybe I'm wrong now, but at one point that was it for the copedent. It is a little bit expensive for what it is, I think. I would definitely go with like the Justice, and that's the 6 string. Huh. We want the 10 string, right? 10 string, right-handed. Okay, no, it's 3,000. Okay, the 6 string. That was still 3,000. Wow. So, you know, I think it's an option, and you can probably get one a little bit easier than the Encore. But I just think there's better, the Encore or the Justice or some of those other ones are going to be a little bit more fun, and you're going to be able to do more with it eventually, if it is still the case that you can't really change the copedent on the new Maverick HD. All right, we're getting to the end. We're getting there. I know this is running kind of long. All right, we got the GFI Ultra. This is the GFI Pro model. Again, I think they're pretty dang ugly. They are still being built, so all the benefits of that, you can get parts for it, you can get it worked on. They're very easy to come by. The Pro model is going to be, they're still pretty expensive. They're, let's see, they're GFI. The GFI models. The Ultra. Yeah, see a single 10 Ultra is coming in at $3,700. Double neck, yeah, so they're pretty expensive. Again, I feel like I would go with the Justice if you're wanting a brand new one over that. And now you're looking at, like, you know, the Rittenberry Flight Ready. I would definitely rather have that. Once you're talking about the single 10 with the pad, now you're talking about Prestige is going to be cheaper. So for that, I just got to knock it down one tier. So the Ultra, I'm going B. They're gonna sound good, but they just don't have the pop. Like, you're telling me you can get like a where do we go? What am I missing? Like, you can get the Prestige or a GFI cheaper than the Ultra. Like, come on. Okay. But like I said, they're going to be easy to find. So if you want something now, there is that. All right, we got a Carter. So I've owned one Carter, and it was an older one. So I haven't played some of the later date Carters. There were definitely some changes made later on. I have heard. Oh gosh. Oh, my mom's gonna kill me. What is his name? Oh man, he played with. Oh god, Toby Keith. He played steel and sax, and oh god. Anyway, I can't remember his name, but I saw him play one, and it sounded great. Like I said, mine was an older one, and it sounded, or I'm sorry, it underneath it looked a lot like the MCI. It was definitely a pain to work on. On the plus side, you can find ones that are in pretty good condition, pretty cheap, because they are going to be, even if it's from like the 90s or the early 2000s, you know, you're looking at 20, 30 years old at this point. I know, right? So you're going to be able to find parts for it for the most part, but it's going to sound good. It's going to be in pretty good shape. Again, you're going to want to have someone else take a look at it before purchasing, because they can kind of run the gamut, right? And a new player isn't going to know, is this like a 98 or is this something older or something newer? And you'll definitely want to lean towards the newer ones. So we are going to put Carters. Man, I feel like if I put the MCI in S, then I need to put the Carter in S. but just knowing that there is going to be a wide spectrum of the quality of the Carter. Because people have, modified them at this point, turned a D10 into an SD10, or turned, all that kind of stuff, turned into a universal, whatever. Okay. Now we got the Jackson Slide King. These are gonna be pretty expensive. I know I'm getting kind of tired of this. I'm sure you are too. I had a student with the blackjack, and he just had some problems with it. Like I said, they're also just expensive, kind of like the Maverick. I would just kind of, I'm put it at B. It's just, I don't think the price is worth what the guitar is. And that's really all I have to say about that. God dang. Okay. Now we got an Emmons Legrand. So this is another kind of Emmons. It came later on after the push-pull. They did start making all-pull guitars. I think this is probably a good option. You're going to find some, like the Carter. You're actually, if you look, the Carters have kind of these weird smaller pedals where the pedal rod is in front, which kind of makes it a little bit more tense, right? And you can see later on they started moving them to the side, which makes it a little bit smoother pedal action. So I think this is a great option. Again, they're not going to be super flashy. It's probably going to be like black mica. But again, they're not going to be too old. They did make Lashley Legrand 1, 2s, and 3s. I think you could still get earlier models later on, so it's not necessarily the 3 is going to be newer than the 2. And I don't know enough about it to tell you what the difference is in them. But it's going to sound good, and it's going to hold up, much like the MCI or the Carter. So for that reason, I'm going to have to put it up there in the S. They are going to be probably a little bit more expensive than the Carter or the MCI, just because of the name, and I'm not sure. They might be a little bit nicer. I've actually never played one, but I have heard them, and they sound good. Moving on. Oh, God, why does it keep doing this to me? Boop. Okay, now we got this this old school Sierra, the twist-on legs. You gotta love that. So, like the old MSAs, these are gonna be super heavy. Like stupid heavy. Why is it so heavy? It's really incredible. You're gonna find that a lot of them are keyless. I wouldn't recommend that for a new player. Not that there's like a huge learning curve on that, but it is just gonna kind of be different. That being said, it is an all-pull guitar, so that's gonna be pretty similar. I actually haven't heard any of these in like a band setting, so I can't really say what they sound like live. I have had a student with one and helped him work on it. So I wouldn't go diving into a Sierra. Oh look, we have more grass. Because there are going to be some better options. I feel like for a long time there was a scammer going around with maybe this exact guitar. So actually, if you do see this guitar on Craigslist or something, there's a good chance it could be a scam. They are going to be kind of cheaper. They are older. But don't let the cheap price get you to buy this one if this isn't exactly what you want. If this isn't if you don't want this exact guitar, then don't get it, right? Don't get this one just because it's the only one available right now. Wait another month or two, something better will come up. So we're gonna put the old Sierra, I'm gonna put it in the C. I just don't, they're too heavy. I don't know about getting parts for the old ones anymore. And you're just not gonna be really sure about the quality, or the condition, not quality. All right, next one. All right, now we got a Wilcox. We got some more grass and some more concrete, hell yeah. So don't let this nice mica fool you. I had a student with one of these, and this thing was a total piece of shit. It was just clunky underneath. The legs were like kind of cheap. It just, everything about it felt cheap. Like, even, I don't know how well you can see in the camera, but this pad is like, it was cheap. Like, it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't put together well. There was just so much slack everywhere in the guitar. I'm not saying everyone is going to be like that, but I have no reason to believe otherwise. Plus, that logo is freaking ugly. So just based on my experience with that one guitar, Wilcox is going D. Don't do it. Okay. Oop, where'd you go? All right, now we got another MSA brand. This is the third MSA. This is the MSA Red Baron. And if you can't tell by the name and by the picture, this is also a total piece of shit. Stay away from it. It's probably going to be in terrible shape by now. You can see this volume pedal is like fastened to the underneath. I don't even know what that's about. Stay away. It's cheap and it's probably going to break on you. So don't get a MSA Red Baron. Even though it looks like a student model and it's going to be cheap, just like the Maverick and the Wilcox, run away. Okay, I got a special place in my heart for the Fender Artist, just because they look so cool, man. I love the way it looks, and I know there's some out there that they're still getting played and sound good. They definitely have their own tone, but you're not going to find parts for it because there just weren't that many of them made. There's probably not that many around anymore. And for its price, you want to get something a little bit newer and maybe more ubiquitous so you can find parts for it. And, you know, aside from how cool it looks, it's going to be a very old guitar, and you're going to run into those problems of how well it's been taken care of. All right, let's breeze. So Fender Artist, I'm going C. Like, unless that's just the guitar you want, I wouldn't do it. Okay, I'm getting kind of tired of this, so we're going to breeze through these last two. The new Sierras, the best of the best, right? I love watching his Instagram, watching him build these things. They're the prettiest guitar that's around. They're also the most expensive. So unless you're just trying to throw dollars away, and unless you just want to be the coolest guy in the room, just wait. Get something a little bit simpler, and then when you know what you want, then get the $10,000 guitar. All right, and lastly, we got the Fender 800, and of course, we got some more grass and some leaves. So the problem with the Fender 800 is, and even the Fender 400, is that they're not, you might find one with knee levers. Most likely, they're not going to have knee levers. A lot of them, they're old. They've probably been played pretty hard. Changing the coping is going to be different. And you just, if you're going to get one, I don't recommend getting one, but just make sure it's a 10-string one that has enough pedals. But like I said, these are just old, and they do sound super cool. If you know what you're doing, after a few years, definitely get one. If I could find one for cheap, I would own one. I love them. Like the Fender Artist, these also have a special place in my heart. But for a new guy, I would just wait on the Fender 800 or 400 or even the 1000. And so for that reason, we're going to put it in the C. You can learn on it, but I would go with something more modern. Okay, so I hope y'all appreciate my recommendations. I hope they're not too biased. I think we got. Let me know what y'all think, and even some of you more experienced players, if you see this, let us know what you would recommend to the new player. And I will see y'all on down the road.